Hi and welcome to today's video where I'm sorting out my makeup vanity case or box for February going into March and up into spring, and spring's around the 21st of March here. So I wanted to give me a bit of time to work on products. So I've shown you the vanity case before. It's here, it's obviously going to show quite big because of the way I've got my camera angled, but I've got my case next to me and I've got all the products out beside me or in front. So I shall go through what I'm using. In January I focused on the products that were mainly in my project pan. Not every category were in my project pan, but I did try and concentrate on them. So I'll go through in some sort of order. First of all, I've got my brushes. I have my Faithful brushes here, which I love. These are the ones that I really like, that need a good clean, which I will do. But these are my makeup brushes. And I have cut some of them down so they fit into the case, because I don't like long handles because they're no good for me when I need a mirror close to my face, as I have aging sight. So, and these are the brushes that I use for my eyeshadow and any detailed work there. So they're in a little pouch that sits on top of the makeup in the case. So I'll try and go through in some sort of order. For primers, I've been using this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer Illuminating, silicone free. It's fine. I don't think it does an awful lot. My face is rather luminous, but I have been using it, as you can see, and it's in my project pan. One that I really do enjoy is the Milk Hydro Grip. I've only used it a little because I was concentrating on the Laura Mercier. Now what I will say is this goes well with my main foundation, which is in my project pan, which is Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum Foundation SPF 40. Now there is another one that's out since then in a clear bottle, but this is the serum one. So this one tends to slide all over the face, maybe because I do put a lot of skincare on that's very hydrating, and this doesn't do much to help with that. So I have been using the Hydro Grip primer, and this one has been great for hydration, and it does give a little bit of tack, but it is not overly tacky, because some are so tacky that make that foundations can look heavy if you're not very careful. So I know with a lot of them, if it's very tacky, put a small amount on, but even when you do put a small amount on, some are just, it's just the nature of the beast. But this one, I put a tiny bit on, spread it over the face, and it works really, really good. And I use that one when I'm using the Bobbi Brown serum. And then this one is my IT Cosmetics CC cream, which I only use for part of January, so I'm going to keep using this one. And it is the Original Fair, and the Original Fair did have a name on it. And then they took it off subsequently. So I'm going to be using that one. I'm sure this is the original. Yeah, I'm going to be using that one, and with the Laura Mercier. So that I've got a good combination for both. And because it is old, I want to be able to get this finished up, because the SPF won't be good. I mean, basically in the UK we don't have dates on ours for SPF where you do in the US of A, which I think is great, but it is a physical sunscreen, so it should work regardless to some degree. But I wanted to use that up in the early part of the year. So they're those two. Then for setting sprays or face mist, I've been using this Fresh Mist from Barry M. I'm halfway through and seeing if I can finish this off in February. And I've got Iconic London Prep Set Glow. This container, look at it all bust up, this lid, and it's not even been dropped or anything. So it's got a little bit left. I used it in December and January, so I'm hoping in February I will get that finished off. It is in my project pan. So moving on from there, where shall I go on to? I'll go on to contour. For contour, I am using, for underneath the cheeks, this Milk Makeup, and this is in Sculpted Stick in Toasted. Now, this stopped rolling up. So what I had to do, and I never checked it when I bought it. So what I had to do is depot it and heat it up so it would lie in here. So I've just finished everything out of the cap, and I'm now using this on a stippling brush. So I do like the product. I just don't like how they have how they've packaged it. For contour around the jawline, I am using this, which is from my Tarte's Pro. I've got rid of that palette, but that was the remaining shade. So I'm hopefully in a couple of months, or maybe even 3 months, I may get that finished. So I'm using that one. For I'll go for blush. I am using the Rocketeur, which is in my project pan. So I want to carry on focusing using this one up. It's quite a rich tone, so I think it's fine for winter. So I'm going to carry on solely using that one. For my highlighter, I have the Glass highlighter in Champagne Glow from Rodial, Rodial, and I have got quite a lot of progress, but there's only 2 mils, so it's a tiny amount. And then for bronzer, I have been focusing on the Lancome, and it's called CE Skin Transforming Bronzer in 01 Fair. So this is the lightest one, and I have got quite a lot of use on this one. I'm not sure if I can get any better lighting on it, but basically I don't think I will be able to. I have got quite a lot of the flower has been worn away. I'd like to see if I could get rid of all the embossing. It's though it is lovely, and I have used quite a bit of it. So it's a lovely gentle powder that's very soft and buildable. So for concealer, I am using, now I did finish one up in January, but this is my second Ellis Fass concealer. You can tell because the nib on this is better. It's more complete. The other one was a right mess. But so what I've done is, because it does leak, I have emptied it into this old Benefit Boing container, because it's only got 1.5 mil or something like that. So I'm using it from there with a tiny sponge and just laying this under the eye, because that's the only place. I don't have spots or anything or blemishes, but it's for dark circles. It's not the best, but I want to get this finished because it is quite an old product. So moving on to setting powders, I have, and I'm going to continue to use the Laura Mercier Translucent. I don't have much left at all. Let me just see if I can shake it up. I've only got about that much left, a tiny bit left. It says keep open for 12 months, but I've had it about 13 months now, and it seems fine. And I use this every day, because I do wear makeup every day, unless I'm very ill. And I've probably not worn makeup in 2024 about 7 or 8 times, not much at all. And I've worn it all this year so far. So I do enjoy this. It's quite a bulky item, so I'll see if I can use that up. I've also got this Laura Geller foundation in Balance and Brighten Porcelain. That's the shade, 9 gram. Now, this one is getting quite flat. You can see there's a big dip there. And I use this under my eyes and onto the lid as a final finish over the concealer, because it is a very light powder, but it does have quite a bit of opacity. It's not translucent. It will set it down with a good layer. I've got the Hourglass Veil, which I don't like, but I'm using this before I use the main powders. I put this on my cheeks, and then I can put the contour on, because the contour, this liquid contour cream, will pull foundation off. No matter what I do, it will pull. So what I do is I lightly set, very lightly, with a very fluffy brush, a tiny bit of this powder, and then I use a stipple, and I'm able to put this onto my cheeks and blend. So I have got a way to use both of these products in a way that I think, that works out quite well. Then going on to, what shall I go on to? Eyeshadows. So for eyeshadows, I have been focusing upon this, which is in my project pan. and I've been using that as a brow bone light highlighter. And then I've been using this Rowan, and it's called Disco Eye Universal. There's two versions. There's the Universal and then there's a gold one. So this Universal is more champagne in tone, and I put that over the lid as a topper. So that was in a project pan, not this year, not 24, in 23, and I'm going to see if I can finish it off in 24. It is not the easiest product to use because it's a very firm gel that you can't use a brush on it. It's very difficult to use your hands. You've got to break up a little bit and then scatter it on the lid. But the effect it gives is very, very pretty. Onto eyes. For eyeliner, I've been using these two Rodials, one of which, I think it's the brown, is in my project pan. So I'm using them because they're quite old. And I have to set them down with the Hourglass because they will otherwise go onto my upper lid because I have age-associated hooding. But with a little bit of setting powder, it works well without disrupting my eyeshadow. For the lower waterline, I'm using the Essence, and it's an inner liner gel, a brightening gel. It's good on the waterline, but it acts it clumps on ordinary skin under the eye. So it's not the best. I wouldn't re-buy this, but I've got it, and I will finish it off. For base, I use the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I don't always use base, but I've started in the last week or two using this, and I'm going to carry on because I want to get this finished. This is a mini, and this leaves a white colour, but it is very good to start at keeping the eyes crease free in terms of makeup disruption. For brows, I just started out on the recently purchased Surratt in blonde. So this is a little pencil there. So I'm enjoying using that. It's not my favourite. It's a bit clay-like and a bit powdery, so it doesn't give that much of a defined look, but it is nice nonetheless. And a very similar shade is the Blowout by Uma Beauty, which is a brow gel, a coloured brow gel. I like the formula. I don't like the brush. The brush really scratches the skin. It's very, very hard, but I have enjoyed the product. It's really nice, and I'm not sure what's happening to Uma. For mascara, and I've just started using this one, which is a lash primer from Dior, and it's the Dior Show 4D, which is they had a 3D. This has recently come out as the 4D. It's nice, not particularly. It's good if you want curl, but my lashes curl, but it doesn't seem to give any body or length to the lashes, so I'm somewhat disappointed. Maybe because it's fresh, it's quite runny, so maybe as it dries out, the performance may improve. I've got Exaggerize mascara, which is a volume mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. This is on its last legs. I've actually put eye drops in to extend the life, so I will carry on using that because I don't like using multiple mascaras. I mean, I understand you may need to do that, many people do, but I'm quite happy to have one, and I don't use it on my lower lashes because they're just too small. For going on to lips, I've been using this little lacquer from a gloss from Laura Geller. It's a limited edition one, and the shade is Perfect Peach Shimmer. Now, I've put this into my project pan because the Smashbox was just too goopy, so I've been using that. And I also got rid of the lipstick that I was using, which was from Kosas, because it just fell to pieces. And I've now got in a lipstick queen case a Maybelline Pink, and I'm enjoying using that one. So it's quite a warm tonal pink, to be honest, but I'm going to give that one a try. I was going to get rid of it, but I've decided to keep it and finish it off. And then I have three liners that I'm focusing on, lip liners, and they are from Lipstick Queen, which is a now defunct brand. And I've got Nude, Rose and Mauve, so it covers nearly all bases, certainly for the tones that I'm using at the moment. So what am I bringing in? Well, what I know I will need another mascara. So I've got their Real Magnet by Benefit, which came in an advent calendar. It says November 22, so it really needs to be used up. I have checked, it is still, though I haven't used it, it still seems to have fluid in, but hopefully that will last once I've finished the Charlotte Tilbury. For eyes, I'm going to bring in the Victoria Beckham eye brick, and this is her signature. And I don't know if it's going to show, it's not going to focus. And there it is. So it is a nice brick, and I shall get some use out of this because it's quite nice for winter, I would say. But I kept it back as a new purchase, so I'll be able to focus a bit more on that one. I've also got from Huda Beauty, I got this in an advent calendar, and it's the Empowered palette. And I thought this would be nice for winter because it's got quite a wintry colours. So I'm going to break that out and use these. So these are quite nice. So I shall have a go at them and see what looks I can come up with. So that's they haven't been used at all. And then a couple of new lipsticks I'm going to be putting in. I mean, I have used this. This is, what's it called? Net New Wave from KVD. This is her current, the current line. It's owned by Kendo Beauty, I think. And they're still producing under this brand name. And this is quite a cool toned taupey brown. And it's a sort of shade I do like. And I've been wanting one of this shade and I have used quite a bit, although I haven't had it that long. I've used maybe half an inch, something like that. So I'm going to, and it's a lovely satiny, balmy type of product, and it does it does leave a stain, a slight stain as it wears off. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I've got this, which I got in an advent calendar a couple of months ago, and it is MAC and Hug Me, it's called, and this is a very sheer lipstick. There it is. And I have another item coming in for Valentine's Day off Mr. Bear, a lipstick product which I will also be using. So they're all the items I'm going to be focusing on from throughout February going towards spring. So I'll probably update around the last week in March. So can I say thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully I shall see you soon. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves and bye for now.